Most people chase a strong body. Some chase money. Some chase success. But very few people chase the one thing that controls everything else: a strong mind. Because the truth is simple: if your mind is strong, your life becomes strong. If your mind is weak, everything around you falls apart. This is the story of someone who discovered that the strength they were looking for was inside them the entire time. There was a young man named Kavi. On the outside, he seemed to have it all. He was physically strong, a hard worker, and filled with determination. You'd see him at the gym, pushing weights, or at his job, staying late to finish a project. But mentally, he felt fragile, like glass waiting for the slightest tap to shatter. A small failure would completely discourage him, making him question his entire path. A single negative comment from a coworker or a stranger online could ruin his entire day, replaying in his head for hours. One unexpected obstacle was enough to make him want to quit everything and just disappear. He couldn't understand why life felt so heavy, why every step felt like he was walking through thick mud. The world felt like it was constantly pushing down on him, and he was losing the fight to stay upright. One afternoon, while visiting his grandfather, he opened up about this feeling. He explained how exhausted he was, how everything felt like a battle. His grandfather, a man who had seen many seasons of life, listened patiently. When Kavi finished, his grandfather looked at him with gentle eyes and said, "Kavi, the world isn't breaking you. Your thoughts are." Kavi was confused. "My thoughts, but the problems are real. Failures are real." His grandfather nodded and continued, "Yes, the problems are real, but how you see them is what gives them power. A weak mind makes small problems look like impossible mountains, but a strong mind makes even the biggest mountains look like small hills you can climb." Those words echoed in Kavi's mind long after he left his grandfather's house. A weak mind makes small problems look big. A strong mind makes big problems look small. For the first time, he considered that maybe the battle wasn't with the world, but with himself. That night, Kavi couldn't sleep. He sat alone in the quiet of his room, the city lights faintly glowing through his window. He replayed his grandfather's words over and over, and he began to think about his life, not just the events, but his reactions to them. He thought about the promotion he missed out on and how he immediately concluded he was ungood enough instead of seeing it as an opportunity to learn. He remembered a project that failed and how he blamed himself entirely, ignoring all the external factors he couldn't control. He scrolled through his memories and saw a pattern. A painful but true realization washed over him. He wasn't losing because life was too hard. He was losing because his mind surrendered too fast. He was the one who gave up on himself at the first sign of trouble. He was the one who let self-doubt drown out his own ambition. He gave more power to the negative thoughts, the whispers of "you can't," than he ever gave to his own dreams. It was a tough pill to swallow. It meant he was responsible. But with that responsibility came a sliver of hope. If he was the problem, he could also be the solution. And in that quiet, lonely room, with a newfound sense of clarity, he made a choice. He whispered it to himself, a promise to his future self. If I want a strong life, I must build a strong mind. It wouldn't be easy, but he knew it was the only way forward. Kavi understood that building a strong mind was no different from building a strong body. It required training, consistency, and patience. So, he began his mental training regimen. The first step was to stop feeding the negative thoughts. He started treating his mind like a garden. Whenever a weed of negativity popped up, a thought like, "You can't do this," or "You're going to fail," he didn't let it grow. Instead of arguing with it, he simply acknowledged it and responded with a calm, quiet action. He'd say to himself, "Maybe, but I'll try anyway." This simple phrase shifted his focus from the possibility of failure to the act of trying. Next, he practiced discipline, especially on the days he felt weakest. He set his alarm for the same time every morning, and he got up even when his body and mind screamed for more sleep. He created a to-do list each day and made sure he finished every task, even the small ones, even when he was tired and uninspired. He stopped waiting for motivation to strike like lightning. He realized motivation was a result, not a requirement. By just doing the work, he created his own momentum, his own motivation. Finally, he trained himself to stay calm under pressure. Before, when a problem arose, his first reaction was panic. His heart would race, his thoughts would scramble, and he'd feel overwhelmed. Now, he developed a new mantra. Whenever something went wrong, he would take a deep breath and tell himself, "This is a test, not a punishment. This is an opportunity to get stronger." By reframing the situation, he took the emotional sting out of it. It wasn't life attacking him. It was life challenging him to level up. Slowly, almost imperceptibly at first, Kavi felt a shift. His mind no longer went into an immediate state of emergency. His thoughts no longer controlled him. For the first time, he was controlling them. Months passed. Life didn't magically become easy. Kavi didn't win every challenge. He still faced setbacks and failures. He still felt the immense pressure of his goals. There were still days he woke up and wanted to give up, to go back to his old ways of hiding. But now, something fundamental was different. He didn't quit. When he failed, he analyzed what went wrong and learned from it. He didn't break. When he felt pressure, he used it as fuel. He didn't run from problems. He faced them head-on. Why? What had changed? The obstacles were the same, but his mind had become stronger than the obstacles. The weight of the world hadn't lessened, but his capacity to carry it had grown. He had a profound realization. A strong mind doesn't remove problems. It helps you overcome them. And with this newfound mental fortitude, his life began to transform in incredible ways. He handled stress at work with a calm focus that impressed his colleagues. He pushed himself further in his personal projects, achieving things he once thought were impossible. He started to genuinely believe in his future, not as a vague hope, but as something he was actively building. When others around him gave up during difficult times, he stayed focused, his inner resolve unwavering. He was winning the small battles inside his mind every single day, and those inner victories were shaping his outer reality. One sunny afternoon, Kavi visited his grandfather again. As he walked up the path, the old man was sitting on his porch, a warm smile spreading across his face. "You look stronger, Kavi," he said, his eyes twinkling. Kavi smiled back. He knew his grandfather wasn't just talking about his physical appearance. "It wasn't my body that changed, Grandpa," Kavi replied. "It was my mind." His grandfather nodded slowly, a look of deep pride in his eyes. "That's the secret," he said softly. "The one most people miss. If you build a strong mind, a strong life will always follow." And this is the lesson for all of us. You don't need perfect conditions to start. You don't need a constant stream of perfect motivation. You don't need to feel strong and confident every single day. Nobody does. You just need one thing: a mind that refuses to break. A mind that you train day in and day out to be resilient. A strong mind can turn pain into power, transforming your struggles into your greatest strengths. It can turn failure into learning, making every mistake a valuable teacher. It can turn pressure into growth, forging you like steel in a fire. And ultimately, it can turn your wildest dreams into your reality. Because in the end, the formula is timeless and true. Your life becomes strong only when your mind becomes strong. Start training your mind today. Thanks for watching.